This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Big warm welcome to the Bar Steward's Enquiry Royal Ascot podcast. This is where we're going to cover Tuesday and Wednesday. We're doing three pods this week, the normal Friday show, but also we're doing one on Wednesday to cover Thursday and Friday. So we thought it'd best doing it this way. We've got the decks to look at. We can probably do it with more accuracy than some of these wannabe pods. So welcome this evening to Patreon members. Thank you for your support. It is outstanding and we appreciate it. So joining me tonight on this Tuesday, Wednesday preview is the top team of flat judges. It's myself, John, Quentin and Jack. Good evening, folks.
Afternoon, Lee.
Yes.
Evening all.
Yes.
You're in the house.
Right. On to our best bets round. This is covering bets on the Tuesday and Wednesday, but I have said to the other three, if they wanted to put up something later in the week, that's also fine. But we'd be interested to see if we do get a klaxon from one of us. John, you're in the mood for this, so kick us off.
I am in the mood for this. 6-10, 1 point win, rolling dynasty.
Yeah, the copper horse, yeah.
Yeah, I think this could be very well handicapped. Really like the comeback run against what I think are some fair 3-year-olds. He went to big weights. He absolutely blow a hole in them. He could be anything, this. 8 to 1, I think it's a very reasonable price.
Sixers now.
Well, I'm not bothered. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of exposed horses in here. I mean, Vauban's people had a go at this 2 years ago with Saldier. He found the ground a bit on the quick side. Vauban's been exclusively jumping for Willie. This might be a bit of a culture shock. His platform's all on well-watered frog tracks. Yeah, I just like Rolling Dynasty.
Yeah, good selection, John. For the boys in blue, Will Buick in the saddle. 6 to 1 generally available. The 8 to 1 was but a distant memory from 2 hours ago. But John's not bothered because he's had the 8s. Good start, mate. 1 point win on Rolling Dynasty. Quentin?
I'm going to kick mine off in the Coventry League, 15:05 Tuesday, and I want to have a couple of darts at the place market. Half a point win at Betfair SP, top 3 places on a couple here. The top of the market's right, River Tiva and Asdana. There's obviously been Twitter spats aplenty about how best to find out who's the better, so I'll leave them to it. But I think there's a few that have been overlooked at big prices here, and I think the place market's the best way to attack them. The first one in question would be the Charlie Hills-trained Chief Manicato. Very impressed with this on debut. Kind of tanked through the race in midfield. Ended up being switched onto the rail played that day at Windsor and switched away from the rail. Got up close and clocked a decent figure. The third Sky Wizard came out and won impressively at Salisbury the other day. Fourth's gone and won a race over in France in Vichy, and it appeals as strong form. I think there's going to be a fair bit more to come. He's not really renowned for first time out winners, so that's half a point for the place market. The other horse should be a massive price, to be honest. Also in question is Spanish Phoenix. The going stick says stand size slightly quicker, so I'm hoping you draw 19 in, potentially in the right place. By debut notes on him, size and scope are plenty, type to do better long term, and the paddock pick, all hands and heels, the penny dropping late, will take a leap forward for this. Suspect he'll be potentially the best of these long term. Did step forward for that, won a small field race at Leicester by 6.5 wickets on heavy ground. Not sure he needs heavy ground given the way he moves. By Phoenix at Spain, who was top of the ground sire or top of the ground horse, and he's out of an Oasis Dream mare. Goes up to 6 furlongs, no issue with that at all. I think it'll bring about a fair bit more improvement. And win only is going to be about 100 plus, so you'll be open for 25, 33s, 3 places, something like that. At the price, I think he's worth a flyer.
Lovely. O'Sheen in the saddle as well.
No negative.
Yeah, no negative at all. Lovely prices there from Quentin. Favourite is drawn in stall 6, which might not be ideal for River Tiber, despite confidence behind the horse. We'll see. Might be okay, but like Quentin says, it's possibly slightly quicker towards the stand side. Traditionally, I always feel on the first day you want stand side, but I don't know if that's just me on the magic mushrooms. Jack, coming to you.
Yeah, I haven't got to wait long for mine, Lee. Goes in the Queen Anne, first race of the day. It's an interesting race without being spectacular, this one. Obviously, you got 2 at the top of the market. I'm going to be there tomorrow for my sins, so I look forward to seeing her in the paddock and see what sort of condition she's come back in. Obviously, missed the spring again, but then did the same last year. Pissed up in the coronation, so we'll see what she's like. But she's going to be well bet tomorrow with the Frankie factor full in swing. Modern games, impressive horse, pretty much runs his race every time, but majority of his wins have come stateside and in France as well. Certainly wouldn't be surprised if one of those were the win, but I took my sights a little bit down the market, and this does come with I've been tipping a lot of non-runners on here. I think it keeps me level stakes, so I'm going to try and do it again. And we're looking at Simcock trained Cash now. Patreon lot will know I was quite sweet on this one for the Lockinge. Didn't get a run that day. They stupidly decided to step him up for the Brigadier Gerard. I thought he ran pretty well in parts for that. Was tanking through the race, but just didn't see out the 10 furlongs. I think a well-run mile suits him pretty well. Pretty sure we're looking at a possible pace collapse in this one, as is often the case in the race. You've got Chindit who'll go forward, Muta Sarbek who only knows how to go forward, Pogo, Angel Blur was prominent last time out. So I think we've got plenty of pace on, and it always sets up nicely for something to close out. You've had accidental agent win this previously, Lord Glitters. So a big price winner or one closing out well isn't foreign to this race. And I think Cash at a price of sort of 20s is a decent each way bet in this one. I don't know if anyone heard Nick Luck today, but Simcock was on talking nonsense about the ground, saying he might pull this one out. I mean, I don't understand why he thinks it's a soft ground horse. Never run on soft ground, so I'm hopeful there is a bit of rain about in case he's stupid enough to take him out. But a nice quiet ride on this one, and I think he'll finish his race well, and could quite see him sneaking into the frame or possibly going one better. So a half point each way on Cash, please.
Good stuff, mate. 20-1 with Coral, Unibet and Ladbrokes. Thank you very much for that, Jack. Each way for Cash. Potential pace collapse, he says, in the Queen Anne. Okay, I'll kick us off with Francesco Clemente as a point win bet in the 535. 6-1 available with Paddy's and Betfair. A bit miffed at the price in the fact that there was 10s earlier on in the week and I wasn't awake to that. So it's pissed me off a bit, but it's clearly the Frankie factor why Sarga's favourite. There's no way Sarga's a better horse than Francesco Clemente. Absolutely not on this planet. This horse should have won quite comfortably at Goodwood, but obviously threw the race away on the bend and the start. Maybe a slight concern also on temperament. They've gone for the cheap pieces of Clare Haven, and maybe they feel that the horse was like really fucking about quite a lot at Goodwood, which shows you his ability. If he's fucking about and running to that level, then it shows you that he is possibly, if he's not Group 1, he's definitely higher level than this sort of standard. So, despite rabbing the saddle, which I never think's ideal, that's another reason for the point. But I'm still hopeful Francesco Clemente will prove that last time out I was robbed not to get paid on a very big bet at a short price. So 1 point win at the 6-1 for me, Francesco Clemente. Jack, swinging it back round to you for the 2 point round.
Yeah, off to Wednesday, Lee, and the Royal Hunt Cup, probably one of my favourite handicaps of the year. Going to have a couple of darts at this one. We'll kick off with the Jane Chapel-Hyam trained Intelligent. Good second in this race last year. He's off a pound lower this season and I think comes into the race in pretty decent form. Anyone go and watch his run in the Bet Victor handicap at Newbury, complete float up, hung out the back. Barely asked a question, last off the bridle, into a bit of trouble and finished off really well down the rail. I think that's a nice little prep run for this. As I said, pound lower than last year, and quite happy with the other Doyle being in the plate this time round of the James variety. So was quite happy to stick 1 point on him. And then another horse that I think might actually get mentioned on this pod, so I don't want to steal anyone's thunder here, but the other point goes on Aryan Power. I know this is one that John's got in his notebook, and I completely agree with him. I think he's been, prepped at this one quite nicely. Looks obviously been a bit of a tricky horse, having only had a couple of runs at the back end last year after a big break, but looks in much better order this time round. Decent third last time out in the Whitsun Cup. Again, did some decent work late to finish third, off a nice mark here, and he's got the benefit of the £3 from Harry Davis, and I thought the general 33s was very fair. I don't see that being the price on the day, so going to do a bit of split stake wanker in 1 point Aryan Power and 1 point Intelligent.
Okay, 1 point Intelligent, 14-1 with Coral and Ladbrokes for Jack, and 1 point Aryan Power. That is 33-1, generally available across the board. Good luck, mate, with that. Love a stab in the Hunt Cup. Davis's favourite race is the Hunt Cup. Loves it. He did a Hunt Cup trail on Patreon. Be interested to see if he posts anything for subscribers, possibly in the morning. Be interested to see what Davis thinks in the Hunt Cup as well. Right, coming to me then. We're going to have a Klaxon. 2 points win. Ruling Dynasty, 6:10 race tomorrow. John's mentioned the reasons. The only bits to add to it was that this was a horse I was told about a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and this is one that I was told was definitely group class, and they've had issues with it, hence the sporadic appearances. But obviously, you can see the family Old Persian, etc., and didn't get the price of Urban in relative terms to this. This could be a lot better than 97, like most of theirs that sort of progress like this. Fine physical bull of a horse, could end up 110 plus. Yeah, nothing not to like. So me and John love it, and that's why we're in at 6-1 for a 2 point bet and an asthmatic horse Klaxon, folks, which isn't bad on our first Royal Ascot pod. Good stuff. Quentin.
That's not bad at all, is it, to be honest? But can add another one into the mix. My 2 point win selection is exactly the same there. Sadly, someone else beat us to the price slightly, but I still think there's plenty of juice in the 6-1, 11-2 kicking around. Vauban was always going to be put in short of the market. Like, it was a big old performance on the clock by Ruling Dynasty at Haydock. I remember you mentioning him before debut, and like, as long as 11 days doesn't come too soon, he's going to keep on stepping forward. Like, giving that much weight away to 3-year-olds at this time of year is no easy thing, and it was uber impressive. I think he should still be a fair bit shorter still in the market. So yeah, that's where my 2 points win is going.
Is that our first fog on? I think it is, isn't it?
I think we've had one before.
We might have had one before. Yeah, can't remember which one. But
Drop the anchor.
Drop the anchor. Yeah, that was a fog on. Yeah, that was me, John, and Catherine, wasn't it? If I remember.
Yeah.
Did it win?
Yes, 10-1.
Lovely job.
Good strike, right?
Yeah, the last fog on won. So, folks, fog on number 2. We've had to wait a long time. But Ruling Dynasty could be it. So, brilliant, Quentin. We've done our...
We only had 11 listeners then.
We did, actually, yeah.
That's why it went off 10.
Even the great man could get on the day after. Yeah, there was plenty. Good stuff. Fog on time. John.
Oh, shit, right. You better get your Klaxon out again then.
Oh.
Yeah, Francesco Clementi. I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is great.
I just couldn't believe he got beat last time. Wide on the bend, I mean, that's cost him 4 lengths. He did plenty wrong in the race aside from that. He ran in snatches. He ran in a very mature manner, but I think a lot of that was ring rust. As Joe said, the sardine riding saga, I cannot get my head round, but, you know, 'tis what it is. We'll just have to put faith in Mr. Rab.
Indeed. Yeah, that's why it could never be a max. But then again, if the Tour is its saddle, John, it's probably 3-1 fav now anyway, or 11-4, kind of thing anyway. So, because such is his effect on the market, so to speak. Okay, final round then, the 3 point time. Who should we come to first? Mr. Frank's going to come to.
I'm going to kick it off in the Queen Mary Lee, 14:30 Wednesday, and I think Beautiful Diamond should be clear favourite here, and by a fair margin. Like, as impressive as Born to Rock was, like, blast off from the front, do you really want that? Ascot, the form in behind her has not really worked out at all. I know the back and sectionals were good, but when you're kind of putting everything together, maybe it's more style over substance, and you'd kind of like to see her do it again at this stage. Whereas I feel Beautiful Diamond is good and potentially very good. Looked good, very good looker, not hard fit for this. Firm ground, handled it absolutely fine. But I think the experience on Nottingham will bring her on a good deal. I'm not sure she was at home with the ridges there. She rolled about a little bit, but she would have learnt a great deal for that, I feel. Physically, as I just said, she's not crash bang. So sire Twilight Sun's not really renowned for first time out winners. 5 first time out 2-year-old winners in total from 126. 4%, that is 0.47 actual over expected. They tend to step up mentally more than anything. 10 wins from 54 second time out 2-year-old winners, 1.38 actual over expected. They step up a good deal on for the initial experience. Time was good, back end section was good, and yeah, I couldn't have her bigger than 3-1 in this. She's a fairly strong bet for me.
Yeah, to be honest, you make a good case, because I was interested that Burke said after the race that he could, because she was quite edgy at home, he didn't do as much with her like he would have done normally. He said that was his exact words. I kind of like that, because if he's telling the truth, which isn't guaranteed, you know, that's an impressive performance then to come home in 33.46 for the last 3 furlongs. That's fast. So yeah, I like your reasoning there, Quentin. So that's 5-1 with Coral and Ladbrokes for you for your 3-point max bet. Like it. Who shall I come to next? John, I'll come to you.
3-point max bet. This is in the Ascot Stakes, and I'm rowing in with Law of the Sea. Now, for me, this one was unlucky in the Chester Cup, and then Haydock just simply wasn't enough of a test. He didn't get much of a ride, really. He was given a lot to do in the circumstances. And I was perfectly happy with how he shaped in the end. And I think this is absolutely rock solid each way. With regards to Bring on the Night, short price to make up for last year's second in this, I mean, where's he been? You wouldn't have said, let's put this cunt away for a year and try again in 12 months, would you? I mean, it's owned by a jumps owner. What the fuck went on, you know? Willie is so bent and slippery, they should use him at the next Winter Olympics as the bobsleigh run.
Funny.
I can't fathom why that thing has not had a run in 12 months.
No.
It's ridiculous. And to me, there's been a problem.
Well, you think so, because obviously, even if you don't think it's a jump source.
Well, it's not like the owner despises the jumps, is it?
No. Like I say, even if like they said, oh, maybe it's got a bad Borussia, don't bother with jumps. It's gonna, you know, let's.
Where was the Cesarewicz run? Where was anything?
Yeah, no, it's fair.
As I say, this thing comes here hopefully sound, in good form, rock solid each way for me. I believe there's 6 pegs on offer.
Yeah, 6 general, John. Yeah, you can have
0.5 each way.
Yeah, if you want 6, it's 10s. If you want 5, it's 11s.
Well, the bet I struck was at 10s, so yes, I'll take the 10s.
10, 6 pegs each way for Jonas for Law of the Sea. There in the Ascot Stakes. That's the 5 o'clock race on Tuesday. Tuesday. Yes, sorry. Tomorrow. So good stuff, John. That's your max. I'll continue the show. A very confident max bet. I love a filly. I do. I don't know why, but I always seem to either book an horse with early Turner riding, or somebody like Sam Hitchcock, or somebody like that, and then I have my best bet. That's a filly, which is like a bit weird to say the least, because I don't think they're the most reliable of conveyances any day of the week. But it's in the 3:05 at Ascot on Wednesday. It's the Kensington Palace race. Very confident on the Baby Joseph trained Adelaide. This is a very, very good bet. should not be anything like double figures. I'd price her probably around 11 or 2 tops. People seem to be forgetting here. She's had the upgrade of all upgrades. She's gone from Martin Mead to the baby Jersey, for starters. Obviously, a sighter from Mead's last back end. She come back at the Curragh in a good handicap, the Emerald Mile, and got no sort of run whatsoever. Would have pissed up with a clean run. Obviously, the handicap has not really done anything apart from put up a pound for that, which is scandalous, really. I think should have been much the best. As I say, you've got the trainer change angle, you've got the last run angle where she'd have pissed up, and the fact that she's also unexposed for a strongly run mile. Look at the gaffs that idiot had Martin Mead had a running round. 7 at Chelmsford, held up last, held up round Nottingham Gas Pit. An idiot, and that's why you get idiot results. So now a mile, strongly run race, nothing not to like here, and I think this filly has to go extremely close. If she doesn't win, I'll get touched off. I'm that confident. So I'd be 5 to 1-ish roughly. That's my true price, and take what price have we?
12, 14 Betfred Ladbrokes Coral.
There we go. 14. Franks has done it. 14 Betfred Ladbrokes Coral on the nose as well. No each way wankering. 3 points win bet. Jack.
Confident stuff, Lee, and I think I'll join you with a pretty confident one here. 5.35 Wolferton. I'm going to take you on to a degree, but I'll come back to it in a moment. So the primary selection is also Baby Joseph trained horse Buckaroo. I think this one has done nothing wrong on 2 starts this season. Gave a pound and a beating to last year's Guineas winner Homeless Songs on reappearance, which was after a pretty decent break and a setback. So I thought that was a pretty impressive run. Then, although it was 4th, was less than a length behind Anmart in the Group 1 Dissipan last time out. I think that's decent form. I mean, Anmart's at least Group 1 / Group 2 horse. Light Infantry obviously goes in the Queen Anne, so we'll see how that form stands up. But I thought he ran well there. Probably went a little bit too soon, but ran a very decent race. And this is a serious drop in class. And my main angle in this race, I don't want to go all Johnny Deneen, but I'd honestly say Saga for me at 7-2, 4-1. I don't think you'll see a worse favourite this week. It's a terrible price. It's Frankie factor. It's fucking King Charles factor. All of the above. That's got to be a drifter tomorrow. I can't see that going off Fav. It's a complete pig of a horse. It'll go and win 4 lengths now, but I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it entirely. So I think you've got Buckaroo here, progressive 4-year-old, and the only horse who could beat him in the race is the one your 2 selves have put up, Francisco Clemente. So I'm going to do a bit of Nick Davis action and go 2 points Buckaroo and then a 1 point straight forecast Clemente to beat Buckaroo. And if that's not the front 2, or if one of those 2 isn't winning, I'll probably pack up and go to the beach for the week or something.
Lovely. Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah, I could see you on your beach in your deck chair. You know,
yeah, like that chap in your profile picture. That'll be me for the rest of the week.
That's it. That's tremendous, Jack. So 2 points Buckaroo 11-2, 1 point forecast Clemente to beat Buckaroo in true Nick Davis forecast bumming style. Yeah, I mean that guy last year, that was the highlight of my meeting, because I had that much bad luck last year, so many seconds and chinned, that my Saga was one of them. I was claiming unlucky for that, but then we've seen since that Saga's not that straightforward. But that bloke, I've never seen anything like that on British television, really, racing, because everything's so nice, isn't it? You know, it's like, oh, what a lovely dress this for. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, a bit of Pimm's on the lawn. All that.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, I do. I'm praying he is. I mean, he sat there in his shirt, beer belly like a true northerner, really. He sat there, just sprawled out, and he said, "Oh, young man, you're enjoying this, aren't you?" Yeah. No, I'm not. It's rubbish. Can't get sat down. Can't go for a piss. Can't fucking get a bite to eat.
I think, unfortunately for fans of his, I'm pretty sure he went home and killed himself that night.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It was his face. It was absolutely legendary. He didn't move.
Picture of misery, wasn't it?
Yeah, his face did not move. It's like he got Botox, but hadn't. Just anyway. Let's hope there's some more fun tomorrow like that. Okay, we'll come on to the preview. We're going to do the lot, actually, because why not? It's top-class racing, so we'll come to the Queen Anne. Jack has already staked his claim in this He just wants to get Simcocked on a meeting. I know him. He just loves punishment. So John and Quentin, I'm going to come to you two. What? Any thoughts on the Queen Anne?
That's you, Quentin.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Not much in terms of betting. Not really. I suspect I won't have a bet on the opening race. I see the case for cash in Spiral. Yeah, fine. She's probably got the most ability in the field. Modern Games is the solid one with Spiral coming off the break. I didn't think there was lots of pace though. But Mr. Beak leading them out, like, this isn't really his call. So I know I'm not going to have a bet on the race. So yeah, there's not really much, to be honest. We've had the market out for ages. The ground is what it is. I don't really think there's any sort of into it.
Yeah. Do you think Pergo will blast off though, like Jack says? Blast.
Bounce out.
It might just go up and down in the spot.
Oh, that's terrible. He's here all night, ladies and gentlemen. But we know you love him. My take on it is, I think in Spiral, I'll be like all over John tomorrow, like Chris is with me for tips. I'll be like saying, "What do you think to her, John? What do you think to her?" Because I want to know what he thinks to Inspiral's condition. She's obviously a summer filly, so I just want to know if he had a sort of a negative or whatever, then that'd be interesting at the top of the market. But apart from that, I've no way in, like Quentin and John, in terms of price. John, have you a way in?
If they drop those sale out, I might have a little bit on him in running.
Yeah. That
was the only angle I could say. I think they've been riding low sale a bit too close to the pace in the races he's been running. And I think he could, if they switch him up, I think he could really finish off in one of these. But I'd want a big price in running. I'd want 30 plus. It's not to ask because I can't see him changing tactics anyway.
Well, by rights, Ryan Moore's in the saddle and it's 33-1. And Ryan Moore moaned when he rode Scargill for us, for me, John, at the Royal meeting, because that were 50s. And he said, what have they got me on this lump of shit for? Obviously, this isn't a lump of shit, because Ryan probably wouldn't have ridden it, John.
Clearly not. I probably won't have a bet.
All right, 305 Coventry. We've got nothing interesting to say on Queen Anne, barring Jack's selection. River Tiber worries me in stall 6. I'll be honest, I was very, very confident, couldn't have defeat. And then I'm just not happy that some of the principles, I know, like we've got the Jesse horse near us with Frankie on. I'm a bit I'll be honest, if I could have picked a draw, it would have been towards the stand side. And when you're playing at those sort of prices, it's made me say I won't be having any more on, barring the anti-post bet that I've already played. Quentin, obviously you've given your thoughts regarding the place market on this. Very interesting choices indeed. Jack and John, any of you?
I've had an each way double. River Tiber and Paddington. And I backed bobsleigh on Sunday at 40-1.
Well, that's gone downhill, hasn't it?
It has.
It's terrible tonight. It really is.
Hoping for a cool run in there, I'd imagine.
Damn right, yeah.
Bobsleigh for John, big pro. You love that bobsleigh. You said at Epsom, didn't you, how much you liked it?
Yeah, I thought it won all right at Epsom. I mean, the form was not there, I know that. But it's got the right racing style for this. Probably ain't got the right pilot, but 41 was too big. 12th one's probably too small.
Yeah. Quentin, coming back to you, what would you say on River Tiber? I know you like the horse, but what would it put you off stall 6?
6 has put me off. Yeah, I played it. I think I bet him at 7-4 on Friday or Saturday at some stage when it looked like the Asdana was going to be out. So now I'm on at the right price with a shit draw. So sums up things. But yeah, it's kind of off-putting when you look at the going stick and the going stick's high. Or favouring stand side like you. I'd rather have something stand side for the opening 2 days before they overwater. Just now, what do? Do you kind of stick or twist in terms of position? Take a small loss on the 7-4. I know you're on at bigger prices. You can take a profit if you want. What are you going to do, Lee? Like just let it run and know you're on at a bigger price, or kind of?
I think let it run, because I think it's one of them. You sort of like you see if this ends up being like an impressive Coventry winner, you think it does me more damage mentally doing that, because I'm not that. I am concerned, but I'm not like distraught, because we just don't know how it's going to play out. I know what you're saying with the stick, but yeah,
No, it's not like it's drawn one either.
No,
that's just a whole lot worse. A few in here like reasons that I'm against: Army Ethos, poor time, Bucano Furto, not sure he wants fast ground. Emperor's Son beat the well-regarded Burkhorse, but I don't know, wasn't really convinced by him. They're just a few in like the kind of middle of the market I'm not overly keen on.
Yeah. Jack, anything to add?
Yeah, like yourself, Lee, I think River Tiber's probably my biggest anti-post bet of the week as it stands. So, wasn't overjoyed to see draw 6. I like yourself, I'm going to let it ride and just hope he's the classy horse in the race. To be honest, I mean, I'm just looking forward to logging in. If I get any signal there tomorrow, I'm looking forward to logging into Twitter at about 3:10 and watching everything implode. When no doubt's one of Quentin's at fucking 66 is sloots in or something.
Best paces, yeah, said anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah, to be honest, I've not looked at that in great detail, what's going forwards and stuff like that. But I mean,
didn't you notice there was a kill toss in style 4?
Oh yeah, there is.
Job done then.
Job done. I'm more
happy.
Yeah. So, River Tiber, as we said, kind of worried. Any other sort of contenders that we can sort of give a chance to? Quentin's mentioned places too. John, you said Bucanero Fuerte of Adrian Murray's was a nice sort.
Well, I flagged it as an Ascot horse when it won on debut. But I was more thinking Windsor Castle there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be up to bait in the creme de la creme of Bradley Doyle. I would still I would tend to think that still, But I could see it running well.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, 340 the King Stan. I feel Princess 5-2 Jolly. To be honest, I'll be perfectly honest. I couldn't give a fuck what wins this, to be honest. The 5 furlong sprints, the oldest, doesn't float my boat. Can anyone enlighten our listeners better than me on this?
Yes. Pace collapse here.
Yeah.
And I've taken the 25-1 Mick Barkey of Roger Variables.
Yes. It's on my tracker.
Yeah, well, it should be. I think it's improved us this year. Physically, definitely so. It's thickened up quite nicely. And it's very rarely had its conditions and plenty of pace on. And it's got it tomorrow, so I could see it running really well.
Yeah, talking about Roger Variables, he's lost El Drama to Carl Burke.
Oh, what a shock.
It could be an exodus of obeyed horses out of the varying yard.
Yeah.
But yeah, regarding Mick Barry, I said in my column, I put draw wrong side at Aydock, which it was, on bias day. I said it keeps improving, £15 upgrade, but time ball's there for your time ball. Could be in for a good year. 66 as it was then for the King's Stand is a little big. It's 12s now.
Is it 12?
Yeah. They've whacked the arse off it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 66s though after Aydock.
I think my accounts are getting shattered.
Yeah. 66s was ludicrous. I thought probably about a 20s perk. I thought, but
yeah.
12s is a bit skinny now. Quentin, Jack.
I was semi-interested in, again, like just the draw side of things. I wasn't really bouncing for Highfield Princess at 5-2. To get some sort of action, I'm going to have a few quid at Twilight Calls. I wasn't on the right part of the track at Haydock. Kensington's panned out. Has shown he's got ability here. Like, I know he was well beaten in the King's Stand last year, but picked up the pieces coming second, went through the race well. That 20-1 plus, I think he is. He looks a shade big.
Henry Candy and Brian Moore in the saddle as well, so interesting. Jack?
Yeah, as you know, there was stung anti-post on this one when Ladies' Church went out, which I'm reliably informed was down to an administration error, which is always what you want to hear when you're back.
Oh my God!
Yeah, which is frustrating. But given I'd watched a lot of her racing, there's one from her run at Nace that I liked in here. I was with you, John. I thought Pace Collapse was on the cards, and Moon Easter for the Baby Joseph that I think is still at a pretty sizable price. Thought that could be one to run into a place, 4th in this last year. had a bit of a float up, trainer upgrade to Baby Joseph from Davison, and thought that could be one that I'll probably be playing in the place markets. Like yourself, I like Mick Bahi, but the 12s is far too short at this point.
Yeah, the books are very naughty at the moment. You can see what they're doing even now overnight on Tuesday. Everything's starting to collapse like England batting lineups. It literally is. They're very naughty. They shorten everything up that the tipsters put out overnight and stuff. And they are varmints. I hate the game at the moment. And like you say, it is difficult for people to sort of get on and like 12 to 1 Mick Bahi. Surely that's Betfair SP zone.
Yeah, well, probably plays into what we've been talking about a bit, and the drifters. Maybe those aggressive moves are causing those drifts back out to kind of fair prices. So yeah, probably one for your BSP, I'd say.
It's a Mick Bahi's probably going to go off like what 22, 24 up machine or something. It's not going to be like close to 12s. That's just ludicrous. But again, books have no idea these days. They just cut them. A better struck, they cut 420. The St James's Palace. Jack has a anti-post vision on this, on Cicero's Gift for the yard John likes. Paddington was well spoken of by Icy on the sermon, but he shafted everyone with his non-runner as well. Chaldean just heads the market at 9 to 4. The English Guinea's not working out very well at all in terms of form. Quentin, what's your thoughts on this?
If the heavens open, then I will, and it's only if they open, then I'll be having a play on Royal Scotsman. I know the Guineas hasn't worked out, but it wasn't seeing the best effect there. I still think there's a fair bit more to come on soft/heavy ground. Chaldean looks the wrong favourite. Again, if the heavens don't open, he's very much been he's not really raced on fast ground, has he? Apart from, well, he's not raced on genuine fast summer ground at all. I think he's very much the Frankie factor at the top of the market. I will be playing Isaac Shelby if the going stays how it is at 8, 9 to 1, something like that. Big effort on the clock at Newbury. Could have done more. Sean Levy didn't want to go out, and he had the option to bounce out. Time was good at Newbury. Still think there's more to come from him, and fast ground, no worries at all. I'd have him slightly shorter if the ground stays as it is.
Interesting. Jack, how do you feel about your anti-purse selection?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a jockey upgrade, Lee. We've still got Skidmark, unfortunately. But I'm still fairly strong. I think I put him up at 12s. He's drifted back out to, I think there was a bit of a crazy move. He was sort of 7 to 2 4s at one point, which I thought was too short. But I'd still have him in as, probably 5, 6 to 1. I just hope they don't go too soon on him. I think, that devastating turn of foot we saw at Goodwood, I'm hoping he just keeps a hold, and he's quicker than Paddington and Chaldean. So if they're upside at the one pole, I think there's only one winner. So still pretty confident. And if he keeps drifting, I might go again.
Yeah, this wins, Jack and John. We're taking 7 to 2 Docklands in the Britannia. With Alien.
I'm not.
No, I didn't think you would.
I'm already on.
I know. I thought you would be. I managed. We'll come. I'm not going to mention it because we'll do that on Wednesday's show. But Cicero's Gift, John, are you in favour?
No.
I know why, because he don't. Yeah, Charlie Hills. Right. So what do you like in this?
I think Paddington will win it. I think the horse going the right way. I was quite impressed with the Irish run. I think when you've got an Aidan O'Brien improver against, Charlie Hills, Paul Cole and Andrew Baldwin, I think there's only one way you can jump, really. Yeah,
fair comment. I've got no real view at the moment, though. If Cicero's keeps drifting a bit, it's going to tempt me in, I think.
With Cicero's Drift next, won't it? That's it.
Cicero's Drift, yeah, like all mine are lately. Big drifters. 5 o'clock Ascot is the Ascot Stakes. John's made his case for Low the Sea and said about Bring on the Night. It's a strange sort of old sort of scenario off that amount of time, and kind of get it. I think both Willie's Verban and Bring on the Night have been put in very, very, very short, like supremely short. I mean, it is ridiculous. I don't care what they've been doing at home or whatever.
It's like you're scared of a bit of Willie, isn't it?
Yeah. A win. well, depends how you lean. But anyway, thoughts on this? I'm going to go to Quentin first. Any view on this race?
I'm going to bat it straight back, Shelley. Absolutely no opinion at all.
Yeah, I wanted to be on. If the ground was a bit softer, Novel Legend. I think there's a lot more to come from that. Very unexposed as a stayer. Absolutely pissed all over. Call my bluff off £9 lower. Did get beat by Zinc White, but had a tough trip. I felt at Chester. It just didn't fall right for him. I think this is This is a better sit, but I'm not sure about him on quick ground. I really not. I think I'd like just to see good to soft for him, for me to be betting him. So Jack, have you a view on this?
Yeah, nothing really for me, Lee. I fancied a horse called Newfoundland in this of
You and me
Baby
both.
Joseph. Yeah, but didn't get the cut, did it, John? So so that turned off my interest in the race, to be honest.
Right. Okay, we'll move on. 5:35 is the Wolferton, where we've had a klaxon, very close to a foghorn because Jack stuck it in his forecast. But no, Buckaroo for Jack, Francesco for me and John. Quentin.
I looked at the race and I thought Saga, as you guys do, kind of king Frankie factor, but Piggy, you don't want him at the top of the market. There's a bet to be had in the race. The horse that was on my list as the fourth best bet for the week was in this, and it actually wasn't any of yours. It was Cadillac.
Yeah, that's my danger. Yeah.
He passed the eye test last time out. It was very much a case of how the fuck's he won from there. Cheap piece.
Yeah,
cheap
exactly.
On. The old turbo diesel went in, and it was very, very strong on the clock. Four's a bit in regards to draw and what he'll do, but James McDonald, capable pilot, kind of double figures, I think looks a bit too big, and I'll probably be backing him at double figures.
Yeah, Cadillac. I was closely looking at as maybe a potential bet, but I came around. I'm so biased towards Francesco that I ended up with that one. But that's my danger. So thanks Quentin for that. Okay, 6:10. We move on to the Copper Horse, where we've got the foghorn here of Ruling Dynasty from me, Quentin, and John. I hope that does the business for us. Jack.
It was fourth on my list, Lee. So I'm totally in agreement. I don't even know what's an advancement on a foghorn. That
Right.
Almost.
We need to discuss this. This could happen one day. Where this. So what's after a foghorn, John?
A whoopee cushion.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's like. I mean, it literally is like golf, isn't it? You've got your bogey, your par, your birdie, your eagle, albatross, and that whoopee cushion would do. So a foghorn, but would you ever getting a whoopee cushion? That'd be something. All four people tipping same horse. Yeah,
It's going to go favourite this fucker.
Which one?
Ruling Dynasty. It's getting smashed.
Well, I know poor listeners. By the time they get this, it's about 7-2. But what I'd say to listeners in this is make sure.
One now on Sportsbook.
I know. Just make sure though that don't be dragged in, because I'll guarantee you, Betfair exchange markets are king, and you'll get more of a true price. It's just overreactions. Obviously, Twitter tipsters and
they've been cutting house outs tonight.
Right. They're doing the same as what they did at Cheltenham. If you look at Oddschecker now, it's a sea of blue for lots of horses, but they're not lengthening anything. It's just we'll just cut it and make them back at any price.
I think Pate was gagging for it.
Yeah. So don't even worry about the price cuts. Just wait until the show's tomorrow. And wait for the Betfair exchange prices if you've got a Betfair.
And when you're backing him at 3.25 on the show, you can blame Lee.
I've stitched John up like that before as well. Stitched him up badly. Jack, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Ruling Dynasty all in for me, Lee. Yeah.
So this was your fourth.
Yeah, literally looking at it now, number 4 on the list. So I was busy trying to snap up the rest of those sixes whilst you guys were talking, to be honest.
Anyway, Wednesday then, we'll come on to Wednesday's card. Queen Mary, Fast 5 for the Fillies. I couldn't agree more with Quentin Franks. I was a Born to Rock fan on the numbers, but unlike like the Twitter debate that goes off with Icy, Deneen, Rowlands, James Knight. I am a sectional bore, but I'm also not an idiot. And the thing is for me is the form has worked out terribly. So it could just be an anomaly, and that's what you got to put it down to sometimes. There was a slight tailwind that day. It could have just all the stars could have aligned. And I agree with Quentin. Beautiful diamond. This I think he's going to be a very good filly, and that's where I'd probably place my Krona. If my Krona wasn't just there, I would have a little bit at big prices on Flora of Bermuda that I felt was unlucky in the Hillary Needler. I thought the Faye filly hated the ground in the Hillary Needler. I thought she just preferred possibly a little bit more ease. I had no idea why. That's 10s and Flora of Bermuda's 33s, because if you had what you call a 2-dog trial with clean runs, I don't think I think Flora Bermuda would beat it. But anyway, no. So a bit of value there for Baldwin's filly, but I don't think she'd be good enough to beat Burks, if I'm honest. That's my take. Jack?
Yeah, I completely agree with the case on Beautiful Diamond. There's one also I wanted to point out, same yard actually. A few months ago, I was given this one as one to back on debut, can't lose job. Obviously, it lost, and that was Lady Pink Rose, who, she was well back, 10 to 11 fav at Catterick, and just looked extremely green. Finished the race nicely, but I think she'll come on for this. Obviously, got 2% Tom in the plate, which is never ideal, but at a massive price. I think that'll be one that I have a few quid on alongside your one.
Interesting shout. 2% Tom's no longer 2% Tom though, because they're letting him ride the triers now.
3%, is he?
Yeah, about 4.5. but yeah, he's on the triers. He's Tom now. He gets to sit on the good ones. He's excited. Obviously, like he keeps feeding Amy Ryan pizzas, but that's so she doesn't leave him. Right. So the 305 is Kensington Palace. I've tipped up one here, as we know. So I'll shut up and leave it to you three to discuss the fillies. John.
I thought that, this week a couple of had a Fillies race. Fillies handicap on the round mile with very little pace on, I thought.
All right.
I thought this may be messy. So as a result, I've played 4 here that I think will probably have the benefit of an excellent track position and decent draws. And I've done Discretion, Tarab, Zenga and Divine Light.
All right.
And I've mixed them up in some exotics.
Oh, you love exotics,
John. I do. I'm all over the exotics. I like Yoros, but I think there's every chance could be too far back.
Yeah, fair point.
Because I cannot, for the life of me, say confirmed front runner.
Okay.
And despite the size of the field, I think they could end up making a mess of this.
Yeah, won't be first time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking awful race, isn't it? Really?
No, it's great. Look, I'm trying to back this. I'll even make a case, even though I'm wrong.
No, but if this was a straight mile, fucking hell, you'd be selling a kidney, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, you've gone to a dog fight and then somebody's chucked a fucking tiger in.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise it was a fucking round mile one, yeah?
Well, this is it.
I had a bet, I think it was, I nearly said Mick Jarvis, is it Roger Varian? And they jumped off, and I'll be honest, I didn't even notice the camera angle, because the camera was like similar to that one that they have in the middle of the track on the straight mile,
Yeah.
And we jumped off and he's at the back of that. Oh, fucking lovely this. And then they've only gone 300 yards. I thought they're on the wrong fucking track. What's going on here? He got stopped about 18 times and finished third.
He's one of them, like you say, if you Quentin, Jack, thoughts on this? Or is it gin and pate for you two?
Yeah, very short for me. I was just going to say the Labrador's booked in a nice 20-minute walk around the block when this one's on. I fucking hate this race. So
have you got a Labrador?
Yeah, nice chocolate Labrador.
Lovely.
Yeah. No. Cheers me up when shit like this is on.
Does she like Brussels or Ardennes?
Brussels, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Patty.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She'll mop all of that up whilst this is going on. If I've not been there first.
Yeah, round the chops and everything. Like licking it off her nose and everything. Yeah. Right,
Sorry, Quentin, you go with some valuable input.
Nice. This. You know what, Lee? I kind of messaged you and said just like about 10, 15 minutes ago. I said, "How the fuck was this put in 25s? Like even the 14s is massive." I think they'll go hard in this. They normally do. Last year, I think was 98% finishing speed. Year before that, 97.2%. They tend to overdo things on the front end. You got Tamara, Divine Light, Discretion, all going to force it. Loads in behind. Only concern really would be the ground. Like normally, you see horses like this who are a decent time figure in relation to their handicap mark. Their next time out run, they're put in short, but 25s was ridiculous for this. Like 14s, I still think is huge.
8-1 now, Sportsbook.
They're listening in. Calvin and his Butterbean and his. Only concern would be like really, really fast ground. There's a bit of choppiness in regard to action, but if the times are good, then I'm piling into this.
Okay, good stuff.
Well, not fair to tell, isn't it?
340s, more Fillies. It's the Duke of Cambridge and Jumbly's 9-4-5. This honestly for me, chaps, this was a gin and pate race. I am out of this. Thoughts?
Exact same as you, Lee.
If you want a Spartan bet, Potterpova, I hated the track last time at Epsom, is up to this grade, had a dodgy ticker first time up, with no recurrence of the problem. Should be enough pace on for it to get a nice droppy outride and switched off. Should be finishing 20-1 each way.
I'll tell you what, do you know what's interesting with that bet, John? Grand Dam is 9-1 currently in the market with Jamie Spencer on. And Potterpova is 20s. Do you remember when I put Grand Dam up? Yeah, I put Grand Dam up Sandown as a good thing, and Grand Dam had a nice trip, racing setting, going easily. This fucking thing, we're held up last and absolutely pissed on it.
She's got to turn the speed when she's right.
Yeah, and so how is that 20s and how is Grand Dam 9s just going on that?
On the face of it, though, it's like, well, she had a heart attack first time up and then she was disappointing at Epsom, but I mean, she fucking hated Epsom. She was hanging down the camera. She ran up the straight Epsom on 2 legs. Yeah.
You're actually going to make me back Potterpova, I think. If that's available, I'll back it pop.
I'll apologise in advance.
Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that. She's her own worst enemy, Potterpova. It's just what
not while I'm alive, she isn't.
But yeah, no, I couldn't see the price disparity there. I think a lot of fingers have been burnt when Laurel came out this morning. So yeah, that would have probably been a pretty solid fav. But yeah, limited interest for me, to be honest.
I mean, I back to a few years ago. I expected quite a few to drop out, and they have. And I thought I was doing all right with 20s, and here we are. There's still 20s available. So I'm shit.
Well, now you've sold me on it. Seriously, I think 20s is wrong. On what you just looked good on Sandown last year. Originally, it was a gin and pate race. It might be gin and just have a bet. 420 Prince of Wales, the big race of the week, really. The Ascot showpiece.
Big disappointment of the week.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a difficult one because you've got Adayar that's a cripple. You've got Luxembourg that basically wouldn't have beaten Baybridge last time, but for the lead. Baybridge doesn't go on good to firm that well, so we'd have to wait for if the ground had a bit of juice in it by hook or crook, who knows, we might get 77 millimetres tomorrow. Baybridge would be interesting. Anyone elaborate on that?
Well, Prospero's got to be dangerous, surely.
Yeah.
Coventry Stakes run last year was excellent. Handles shit ground if it rains. The comeback run was really interesting, I thought, in the lockings, because he looked as though he was going to drop out the telly when it quickened. And then he was running on like an absolute Trojan at the finish.
Well, that's it. I mean, a mile. I think it was you, Jack, or Quentin. One of you said the mile's just no good for him at the moment. Mm-hmm. So the 10 it would be probably perfect back up to 10, half a length behind Baybridge in the Champion and Adayar, and those two horses I don't think will be as effective on Rattling Quick. But yeah, my Prospero's probably out where I go, John, as well. Quentin, Jack.
For me, it's all very much about the ground. Like, you kind of look at the Champion Stakes last year. I think Adayar's probably value for a fair bit more than the half length it beat my Prospero. Like, Buick he got trigger happy that day and coming round the bend made a massive sweeping move, and it kind of told late doors.
Do you not think that's what they do though, Quentin, when they're on a mile and a half horse? They invariably go too soon.
I think it was a case of going too soon to try and get the jump on Baid rather than run his race. I think it was more being against horse specific rather than it's not something he'll do here. Just my opinion. Like, he was just getting tied late doors that day. I think Luxembourg's vulnerable at the top of the market. Curragh plays front end. Had the run of things. Baybridge had trouble in running. If there's ease in the ground, then surely Baybridge is the bet.
Yeah.
But there needs to be ease in the ground. I can see Luxembourg being weak. My Prospero will relish this trip. But again, it's all ground dependent. I think if it comes up genuine fast ground, I'll play my Prospero. If not, then I'll likely be on Baybridge at 7-2, 130, something like that.
Yeah. Jack, anything to add?
Yeah, not overly, to be honest. This race always ends up disappointing, doesn't it? It gets built up for about 2 months, and you end up looking at this every time. So,
It got fucking disappointing 10 days ago.
He did it? Desert Crown.
It did. But yeah, similar really. Any rain, Baybridge, probably Fav. I fancy Adayar in all honesty, but I understand the negatives on him. But I thought he looked, pretty decent on reappearance, and they seem to have got him back in a decent place. Obviously beat Anmar, who's gone on to win a Group 1 since then. I think he's pretty solid, but wouldn't really be interested at the sort of 2-1, 9-4. So probably sit this out. It's becoming quite a boring Wednesday, isn't it?
It is. Right.
Make some scones or something.
Yeah. Can you just see John in his big pinner, like making some scones as like Prince of Wales is going off? I actually can. That's not a big price. 5 o'clock Ascot on Cup. Perotta, I think Nick Davis is quite sweet on this, but I don't think he'd be sweet on the fact that it's Fav. He looked like a Fav, does Nick Davis?
He'll have been around the shops months in advance, snapping everything though, won't he?
Yeah, I mean,
I took 12 just in case Davis was getting the car out.
Yeah, he's made the excuse. He's gone to Wales for 5 days and he's not back. So, but that's code for I'm doing all the shops and not telling you fuck all. So Perotta,
he's gone international, ain't he?
Yeah. Perotta is 8-1 Fav. I have absolutely no view on this race. I couldn't care less. Anything from you, chaps?
Well, obviously I like Perotta because I backed it when it was 12-1, and I also like Orban, who O'Meara's at 25s. That's looked as though he's coming back into peak condition. Nice draw, I think, in 19. Not a lot not to like. I think Dawn of Liberation looked very interesting until the draw came out, and has been sledged in the market as well. I couldn't back one in the one box.
No, I mean Davis has mentioned Orban as well. maybe that's the one that he come on side with. Obviously, Jack, you have played Intelligent and the Aryan Power Horse, I believe, in your best bets round. Sir Quentin, thought?
Perotta was my horse for the race. I kind of sat there. When you see 12-1 in the anti-post market, you're like, all right, well, I'll be getting 12s on the days. I'll sit on my hands, yeah. So I kind of looked round the other day and there were 7s across the board. I think he's the solid favourite. Astro King you can mark up. Middle draw doesn't appeal really. Reach for the Moon in 32. You can't really be backing that pick at. Jeez, it's 11.5 to lay. You can't be backing that at that. One at a price, and the hope that low draws play is Wanese. They've gone for the blinds first time this year, well, first time ever. Hood off, hoping it can spark some sort of revival. He's got the ability to make mincemeat of a marker 95. Went close in the Britannia last year, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he's better than 95. Just needs to show it. Hoping that the blinds and the blinds and the return to course can do that. And I think he's 33, 25, something like that. I'm hoping he's that price. Yeah. 25, yeah.
25s. Yeah, yes, 25. 5:35 is the Queens Vase. Mile and 3/4 race.
And we're already chasing.
Yeah, Ice's disgraceful piece is resulted in another non-runner. We've had more non-runners anti-purse than anything this year. No luck at all in the anti-purse markets. Gregory heads the list at 15 to 8 under the sardine. Godolphin have recently obviously purchased Chess Piece.
And can you blame them?
Oh, this is a nice horse.
We saw this at York, didn't we? It's like a fucking bull. Do you remember on Family Guy, the bull that raped Peter Griffin?
You know.
It looks like that.
Yeah. And I think there's only more to come up in. What did we, John? We sat round on the table, didn't we? Straight after that, and we said, "What did we both say? Ledger."
Yeah.
Straight away, both of us said Ledger, and we went Ledger us that. So the rating of 101 compared to 110 of Gregory. I'll be honest, Chess Piece was close to my sort of best three on the week.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going. If it's 7 or 1 plus, that's each way a pleasure. We can absolutely just lay into that, because I'll be astonished if I'm saying one's a Ledgeros and it can't place in a Queens Vase, how badly I've got it wrong. So yeah, that's possibly one that got away for the best bet.
The fucking Gwent for favourite.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Hadrianus. Yeah, St George was impressive.
Impressive in handicap though.
Yeah, well, that was worse.
Yeah, I think me and John are unanimous there. Quentin, Jack, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I'm agreement with Chess Piece, really. I thought, an interesting buy from Godolphin. They don't mess around, and this looks a proper Ledger horse. I think a couple of extra furlongs on it will definitely suit. I do like Gregory. Actually, I backed him for the Ledger myself. I think I'm still a bit stung by Lionel not winning last year's Ledger, so I've gone chasing with his half brother. So that's probably why I've done that. But I couldn't have him at. Whilst we've been talking, look, he's gone 5-2, General 7-4. I mean, it's crazy. So look, I couldn't play anywhere near that price. So yeah, likely to be Chess Piece for myself too.
Yeah, no, you wish Gregory well, because I mean, he's got rid of the mad woman that owned it. He could have ended up anywhere that with the mad woman that owned the Normandy Stud woman. Obviously,
could have ended up with a walk-on part in Coronation Street.
Chesney in Coronation.
Presenting a cookery show with Ainsley Harriott. She's fucking crazy, isn't she?
Yeah, mental woman. Quentin?
I absolutely had no problem with the price on Gregory at 15 to 8. Deeply impressive last time out. Hated Goodwood. Fucking hated it round there. I got him down as a Ledger horse. Done it in slowly run races. Will thrive in the strongly run race. Will get the trip standing on his head. The Dan won the Park Hill. Not sure this will play out how York played out for Chess Piece when they went a consistent, honest gallop to bring him in. I know the extra trip will benefit him, but I thought Gregory would be a fair bit shorter than the 15 or 8, 7 to 4 on offer.
Interesting. So that means a saver on. We have to play Chess Piece and save on Gregory. That's the consensus here. Windsor Castle. If you're not gassed out by then, don't try and get out on this race. The quilt has dropped Barnwell Boy from 6 furlongs at Goodwood to 5 furlongs to the Windsor Castle, leaving one or two of you head scratching. Am I right?
It's the quilt with a favourite at Ascot. You just let the living shit out of it, don't you?
Yeah, Quentin, start us off.
I think there's a bet in the race. Barnwell Boy being dropped back in trip. Is made all over 6 at Goodwood. You suspect they'll go blast off here. I don't think it wants 5. Jonas Brahmas, the second favourite. I don't think wants 5. That was that needs 6+, to be honest, at this stage already. Based on how well I think the Charlie Eels thing will run the Coventry, I think this Inquisitor, the 11 horse. I think the 11 horse is 25s across the board at the moment. Really liked it as a type on debut. Standside have been playing at Windsor. Just shaped like the run was needed late doors there. As I said, the form's worked out well, and can hopefully get a boost into Coventry with the Hills horse running well. On the clock was fine. Drop back in trip should be absolutely no issue at all. I think he's going to run big.
Inquisitive, 25-1. Like you said, the form with Quentin's choices in the Coventry in the place market's interesting. Sky Wizards, obviously the third's bolted in. So yeah, I like that. Big price. Nice, Quentin. Jack?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty strong on the Carl Burke horse Elite Status in the Norfolk, so I'd like to see a decent run from both Hackman and World of Darcy. I thought they ran pretty well last time out, and yeah, interesting to see where sort of the draw bias is, or if there is one come late on Wednesday. But I thought they'd been stuck in at quite big prices. Probably look to have a play on those in the place markets. But yeah, just Quilt's an idiot basically for dropping that to 5 is the main point.
Yep, that's it. We're all against the quilt here, Jonas, and you like to hear that.
I know. Give me a bit of a warm order.
Yeah, yeah. So, any other business? Any other business? Have we covered everything we need to cover?
Anybody get out at first?
Might need to.
I love this show, as always, and your expertise is what has kept this show going. And certainly we hope to line punters' pockets with gold and silver over the first 2 days. We'll be back, unfortunately for you lot, on Wednesday night to have more discussions of random rubbish. And on that show, we've relegated poor Jack to the subs bench to bring the turquoise three-wheeler driving Nick Davis back on Wednesday. He has to do his time. You have to earn your corn. This is what it's all about. So Davis, me, Franks, and Leng will be back on Wednesday evening to discuss Thursday and Friday's fare. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.